What's going on, guys? I'm from Basic Fishing, back here with another video. Today's the day, guys. Today is first episode of the new series. Not quite sure what I'm going to call it yet. I might run a poll on my Instagram, which you guys can't participate in right now because obviously you're watching this video. But I'm debating between basic fishing facts about blank or how to catch blank. Not quite sure yet. I'm kind of leaning towards basic fishing facts about, but then I also want to, have in the title that it shows you guys how to fish for these certain types of species. Anyways, today is going to be not a crazy episode. We're going to start off with the simple fish, the largemouth bass. Now, a lot of you guys may be in the fishing game already, and, that's cool. Maybe you hear some facts that you didn't really know about, but, it's whatever. We're going to start out with the largemouth bass this episode, just in case some of you guys who don't really typically fish for bass, this can help you guys catch more fish, or people starting to fish just in general. So basically how this is going to go, I'm going to have a section of just facts, and then I'm going to have fishing tips. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that the fishing tips section is just going to be fishing tips. There might be some fishing tips that you can gather from the general knowledge in the fact part. Anyways, so we're going to start off with this largemouth bass, like I said. And the first thing you need to know is that they prefer the low 80s. What fish doesn't want the low 80s, temperature-wise? But you can still fish for largemouth bass in the wintertime. It just depends on the water temperature. They typically, they can still function between 40 and 90 degrees. So, yeah. Now, when you're fishing colder water, I highly suggest you guys do a slow retrieve, just because fish aren't going to be moving that fast to catch their food. If you're doing a really fast retrieve, the fish is going to maybe look at it and it's going too fast for them to go after it. They don't really want that bait that much. If you guys see me looking down, that's because I have all the stuff written down here in the notebook. Yeah. Okay. Water temp. 64 to 68, even 70s, low 70s are perfect bass spawning temperatures. Yeah. Now we're going to get into kind of age stuff. Most double-digit bass are relatively young, between 7 to 10 years old. And the average lifespan of a bass is largemouth bass is a 15 to 16-year-old. And sometimes even going up to 20-year-olds, but that's, of course, in the wild, not in captivity, because then they are more prone to just more different diseases that they wouldn't necessarily get in the wild. Yeah. The way that a largemouth bass follows their bait is they have a highly attuned sense of ability of smell, and they basically zero in on their prey by smelling it and smelling the tracks that they make. Females are typically larger than males at the same age. So let's say a female is 1 year old, the male is going to be relatively smaller, just typically because I don't know why, honestly. Yeah. When it comes to bass spawning, females can lay between 2,000 to 4,000 eggs in one spawning time. Now, I know in some of the more southern states, bass can actually spawn twice. Yeah. The world record was caught in 1932, and it was 22 pounds. Now, can you imagine just going out on a typical fishing trip, and you slam into this beast, and you don't know what it is, and later to find out that you've caught a 22-pound fish? I can't even imagine catching a 10-pound fish. What a fight that would be. Imagine catching double that. And then some. So main list of predators are walleye, muskie, and northern pike. There have been that kind of makes it sound like a crime scene, but there have been known facts of largemouth bass eating smaller largemouth bass. A place to find these fish are between rocks, in vegetation, in roots or under branches or sunken trees, basically around brush, fallen trees, rocks, vegetation. If you see a grass mat, pitch and jig into it, you'll probably get a fish. I don't know why I'm doing this a lot lately. I don't know. I'm cold. It's been snowing. Literally, this is off topic, but literally it was 70 on Friday, and then it snowed on Saturday. That's just how crazy Pennsylvania is. I'm pretty sure Pennsylvania is one of the only states that you can have 4 seasons in a day. Just saying. Largemouth bass are actually a part of the sunfish family. What they feed on are perch, sunfish, minnows, crayfish, frogs, and insects. If this is basically common sense to me, but it might not be to you. If you see fish breaching the surface, that means that they're eating insects, frogs, whatever they can get. Minnows that are swimming to the top. Throw a top water. Doesn't matter what. Just throw a top water. Maybe a popper. Popper would work well. Alright, now we're into the fishing tips section. This video is kind of shorter than what I'm usually doing, but next week we have probably even a shorter video than that because of the way of what I'm going to be doing next. Next week's will be smallmouth bass, and that's kind of going to be shorter because smallmouth and largemouth are basically the same thing, just different weather conditions that they're more active in and all that stuff. Anyways, fishing tips are that largemouth bass are more active in early day and late at night, basically in the evening and the morning when the sun is about to rise. When the sun is rising, maybe you have 30 minutes or so when the sun has fully risen of top water before you should really switch out your baits. Early spring is the best time to fish for bass, for largemouth bass more specifically, because that is when they are spawning, and when they are spawning, you can easily throw it on a bed, and you get a hit from a male bass trying to guard his eggs, or even a female bass that's trying to guard her eggs. Though early spring is the easiest time to catch a fish, basically you can catch largemouth bass all year round. It's not really that hard to catch a largemouth bass. It's one of the most popular game fish out there. Some common lures that you guys can use are plastic worms such as Senkos, ribbon tails, even a little bit of grubs, jigs, flip and jig, pitch and jig, swim jig, crankbaits, shallow, deep crankbaits, lipless crankbaits, non-lipless crankbaits, spinnerbaits, and spoons. I've fished with a spoon, but I've never caught a largemouth bass on a spoon. But, I mean, basically, if you just get something that resembles like a perch pattern or bluegill pattern, and you have that on a spoon, you're good to go. Sorry. Now, you should also try fishing with live baits as well. It's not going to be more productive as opposed to just regular lures. But, you know, it's good to shake up your variety of what baits you use all the time. You could use small shad. Worms work really, really well. Worms will catch you basically anything. As far as bluegill, perch, largemouth bass, all that good stuff. Basically the fish that you'd find in a pond. If you fish with worms, you'll catch them all. Yeah, for some reason, largemouth bass are more attracted to the color red, so if you guys get a crankbait, I would recommend getting like a fiery red, fire truck red crankbait. Same thing, not so much as plastic worms. Plastic worms, I typically like to stay close to the regular colors, maybe even going as flamboyant as black and blue, but that's basically as crazy as I get when it comes to Senkos or worms in general, and that's not too crazy at all. And yeah. And that's it for largemouth bass. It's pretty much straightforward. Yeah. And basically, I just wrote it here as another tip. Make sure you guys always read your state regulations when it comes to fishing, you know. I know in Pennsylvania you don't have to be 16, or no, you don't have to have a fishing license under the age of 16, but if you are 16, you have to have a fishing license if you are fishing ponds, public ponds, and public lakes. But yeah. In some states it's 15, and in a couple states it might be 18, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, that's basically the video, guys. Like I said, nothing too crazy, just trying to get informative as much as I can, really. Yeah, it's already 6:30. I'm just gonna chill, maybe do some math homework. Well, I kind of have to do my math homework, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below some more videos you want to see me do, and let me know what name you like better, How to Catch Blank or Basic Fishing Facts About Blank. I might go with Basic Fishing Facts, because that's kind of ties my channel name into it. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'll put something on my Instagram too, so yeah. Most votes will win. If 3 of you guys say Basic Fishing Facts and 2 of you guys say, what was the other one? What was the other one? Basic Fishing Facts and How to Catch. Then I'm going to go with Basic Fishing Facts. It'll be basically on what you guys want. So, yeah. I hope you guys had a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, whenever you're watching this video. And as always, I'll see you next Friday. I'm currently filming this on a Monday. But I get out of school at 11 tomorrow. Let's go. I get out of school at 11 tomorrow. And then I'm off break till next Tuesday. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Anyways, catch you Friday. Catch you next Friday with smallmouth bass. And yeah. Have a great day, guys. Have a great night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And happy Thanksgiving. I know that I'm posting this a day after Thanksgiving, but happy Thanksgiving. Hang your Christmas lights. Start listening to Christmas music.